Good morning everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Lydia and I'm a 4th year medical student in Southampton, and this week I'm taking you along with me for the ride that is my 4th year medical school exams. After a year of full-time placements, the only thing standing in the way of final year is this exam paper. 180 questions over 2 days on everything we should have learned this year. Today I was planning a long study day on campus, so I packed a lunch and a lot of snacks to fuel me for a long day of revision. My fave spot to study has ended up being Building 100 on campus this year. I've just found it a lot calmer than the library, less busy, less crowded. Before getting stuck in, I met up with Francesca to submit an application for our final year elective. Should we make it to final year, after we have sat finals in January, we get to go on an 8-week medical elective to anywhere in the world we fancy. And planning for that does start in 4th year, really early on in 4th year in fact. And today we had a deadline to submit a form, which was very exciting, but also not great timing, obviously. Lots of things going on at once here. Stay tuned for elective planning content over the next few months. Let me know in the comments if you have any guesses on which faraway land you think we might be heading off to. I'd love to know your ideas about where you think I'm going. I'm actually hoping to go to 2 countries, so see if you can guess which 2 countries they are. We have applied for elective. Yeah! Anyway, enough dreaming about a once-in-a-lifetime adventure and back to the nitty-gritty of revision. Today I was focusing on neurology, especially the key anatomy related to nerve palsies and also stroke, because unfortunately you do still need to know about all that stuff after you leave the anatomy labs. After a bagel break, I spent the afternoon doing QuesMed questions and PassMed questions. At this point I was aiming to do like over 100 questions a day. It really was just back-to-back questions until I hit a wall.
Cause we gave it our all, but it wasn't enough. We said I love yous, but it wasn't love. Now you're gonna meet somebody new, and I'm gonna be someone.
A run with Jack and a lovely healthy dinner cooked by him was just what I needed to finish off a long day. Shout out to Jack actually for keeping me fed during this difficult period. I think he cooked for me pretty much every day that week, so thanks Jack, love you lots. Hello, good morning. I just realised I don't think I actually spoke to the camera yesterday. I was just filming away, but I don't think I ever spoke to the camera. So hello, welcome to the exam vlog. I am freaking out because today it is 5 days, if you count today, till the first paper. Freaking out a little bit, guys. Girl, I think the last few days I have just realised how much content there is in 4th year. Like, for example, our neurology placement was a week long. Sorry, you can't learn the whole of neurology in a week. When I was revising it yesterday, I was just freaking out because I was like, I have not given this much attention. But you would hope that in the exam, like the amount of questions for neurology would represent the fact that we only had a week of it. I don't know. It's just at this point now, if I get something wrong and I don't know why, or like it's a topic I'm not very good at, I freak out because I'm like, you need to be better at this. So yeah, anyway, hope you guys are all well. Today I felt like it was quite a successful day and I wish I could have stayed at campus longer, but I wanted to get that run in with Jack and make sure that I got some exercise in. I've been sleeping really badly the last few nights and I feel like the problem is I'm revising all day until like 8-9 o'clock and then not doing anything else other than watching a bit of telly. So running yesterday really helped and I slept much better last night. So today I'm working from home. It's a bit easier because Jack's gone to the office, so I've got the place to myself, and revising here when he's working is difficult because he has lots of phone calls and meetings and it's just, there's a bit of noise pollution and that's not his fault. But yeah, he's gone to the office, so that has freed up the flat for me to work in. Today's a bit of an odd one. I have to go to Poole later today for a meeting that my mum has organised with my dad's oncologist. It's just to address, she has lots of questions, I have questions too. The timing is obviously very unfortunate, but this was the only time that they could offer her a time to see him. I'm not feeling too great about it because obviously it's going to be quite triggering probably, and it's just bringing up a lot of the stuff that we went through that, you know, I do talk about quite a lot with my mum, but it's it's never fun to talk about. I kind of wish this meeting wasn't happening this week, but you know, it has to happen. So I'm just gonna crack on now with today's revision. I've got a little to-do list as per usual. Today I am focusing on obs and gynae. The to-do list doesn't look that long, so I start off by going through obs and gynae questions and then I identify any weak topics from that. So I'm going to do 50 questions. Then the weak topics section of my to-do list could take an hour or it could take 5 hours depending on how many weak topics there are. And then I'm going to do 180 questions, 90 on pass med and 90 on ques med. That might seem like a random number, but our paper is 2 sets of 90 questions, so I thought it was a good idea to get started sort of trying that many questions in one go and seeing how it makes me feel. Last but not least, there's a mock that the uni have put on Blackboard that I've been kind of slowly going through, and I do about 20 questions a day, so I'll go through that mock as well. Don't love that mock because it has lots of like first and second year biological sciences on there, so, or biomedical sciences on there, so I don't love it, but it has to be done. Before I start any of that, I'm doing some ECG revision because I really am bad at heart block and identifying Mobits 1 and 2 and total heart block. So I'm doing that. I'm watching a video actually. He's called Dr. Mike. Is this well, it's Dr. Matt and Dr. Mike. I don't know which one he is, sorry. Oh, this is Dr. Mike. They basically, in a revision session the other day, they put on a video by this guy and he explained ECG in probably the clearest way I've ever experienced. Like, I actually got it. Like, I understood everything he said. I am hoping that this man can now explain to me some heart block. Hopefully it's on sinus Brady 8. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so I'm going to crack on. It's a 40-minute video, but I think if I put it on 1.5 speed and just fully focus, perhaps I will be an expert in heart block by the end of this video. Breakfast today is some granola. Well, it's Jack's granola. I think it's like a protein one with some Greek yogurt and a little bit of honey. I am in a little bit of a rush now because I've got to catch a train in about 15 minutes. I have pretty much covered everything I wanted to do. I've just been going over obs and gynae, like weak topics, and apparently my weak topics were things like postpartum hemorrhage, umbilical cord, prolapse, placenta previa. So basically all of the like postpartum emergency birth situation seemed to be where my weaknesses were. So maybe I just didn't revise them as well, I don't know. We are gonna go to Poole, so I'm just gonna pack my bag. I'm only going for the day, I'm not staying overnight. I can revise on the train, I can revise on the train back, and maybe after I've debriefed from that meeting with my mum, I'll do a bit of revision at home as well. So I'm going to take my flashcards, might get one of my sisters to use them and quiz me. I'm gonna take my trusty to-do list book, and highlighters and a pen. Phone charger, because my phone never wants to last more than a few hours. Do I bring my laptop? No, I'm taking my iPad and I'll download some questions to do while I'm on the train. To be honest, I think it's probably a good thing I'm going home briefly just to see mum and see Macy and get some cuddles from her. I actually never got the camera out once I got back to Poole because we were a little bit rushed for time to get to the hospital. When I got back, I was just chatting to mum and I just never picked up the camera. I was kind of planning to film Macy because she always makes cute content, but I just forgot basically. But she's got this new toy at the moment that she's completely obsessed with, and she was trying to make me play with her. It was so cute, and she's literally behaving like a puppy even though she's a 12-year-old dog. Yesterday was weird, strange, going back to the hospital and going to the clinic, exact clinic room. It was very strange and surreal being back there, and I felt really nervous walking down the corridor and doing that route. A good thing to do because I'll be on placement there in final year, so in that hospital, so I need to get used to being in that hospital. I won't hopefully be on the wards where Dad was. I don't think on final year placements we'll end up there too much. We were chatting to the consultant for nearly 2 hours and we didn't leave till after 6 o'clock. He gave us a lot of his time and spoke to us at length and answered every single question my mum had and I had and my brother had. I don't know how he does the job he does because, I mean, it must have been so hard to sit there and just hear all our questions. I bet when you know, you're able to treat people with cancer, it's amazing and save people's lives, but when things like this happen that are completely out of your control and prostate cancer doesn't behave like prostate cancer normally does and you get this outcome. It must be really hard to sit there in front of the family and talk about it. And so yeah, I really respected him for doing that and taking that time. Yeah, I thought I was going to get emotional, but I never did. It was all quite factual. When I got home, because it was so late and I didn't realise the time, I realised my train was about to leave the station, so my mum had to drop me at the station. I did some work on the train home. Jack and I were watching Ted Lasso last night. Anyway, enough of that rambling. It is time to go back to campus. It's Friday. I'm going to do another day in building 100, I hope, because I'm really enjoying working in there. Not much else to add really, just another day of revision. I think I'm going to do a mock paper today. Morning, Jack. We're going to go to Nando's later, aren't we?
Yeah, maybe if you could do some work for one.
I always do work. The vlog has seen me revise.
Seen potential.
Do you want to film my outfit? This is today's fit. I've got my Harry Styles tour t-shirt. Got my black jogging trouser things and my Crocs. Yay! So here we are again, more past med, more ques med, more trying to guess what the most important topics to revise are. I was really struggling on this day. I think I was reaching the point of burnout. I was well over 2 weeks into revising at this point and just so fed up with the day in, day out routine. The only thing that got me through was actually that Billie Eilish had released her new album this day. I no joke, put it on, ended up listening to it 5 times, all the way through on repeat. It's just amazing. I'm addicted to it. I also did a mock paper. The uni had provided a couple of mock papers for us, which, to be honest, left me feeling quite worried. It wasn't that easy. It was a challenge. Some questions were like past med and ques med, but some were nothing like what I'd seen, so it freaked me out a little bit. But we moved. I'm back from campus. I wasn't concentrating anymore by the end of that. My auntie sent me a gift card for my birthday, and I think she wanted me to use it to buy eyeliner, but Jack's convinced me to use it at Nando's.
I did not do any such thing.
Well, it says I think it says Nando's on here. Thank you to Auntie Teresa for paying for our Nando's tonight.
Ah.
Maybe if you're good, I'll pay for some of it.
Well,
Depends how much I order. Anyway, I think it's high time I had a big revision break, and it's Friday night, so I'm hoping going for dinner with him will...
Who's him? The cat's mother?
Him will maybe make me feel a bit better. I'd hit a wall today, and maybe tomorrow I'll be feeling fresher when I revise. I felt like this last year though. This is either going to go really badly or really well. Nowhere in between. That's where we're at, but we've got 3 days to go, and I think you can make a lot of difference in 3 days of revision, as long as you do it right. Oh gosh. Oh, my battery's dying. Huh? Not your angle? I think it's your angle. What do I get? The choice is overwhelming these days. I've gone for the brand new rice bowl. And Jack, are you okay? Oh no!
I had a green roll, so I got 3 extra chicken.
Nice.
And I got fino pizza, some says thighs on it, and then corn on the cob and very solid chips.
Delicious. It is finally the day before the exam. I'm feeling a bit nervous this morning and my tummy is all doing somersaults, so I had a chamomile tea to soothe the nerves. I think I'm going to lay off the caffeine today because, knowing me, I won't be able to sleep tonight even if I have like a drop of caffeine. I'm going to have very calming drinks today. My plan of action is to go and work in a cafe and read through my notes and just try and absorb as much as I can from my notes, because I spent so long making them. I need to make sure I actually just sit down and read them, and I know reading isn't always the best method of like retaining info. I just want to have a chilled out morning reading through my notes basically. And then I have a little list of week topics I want to go through. Acute care, emergency medicine is my least favourite topic, so I'm going to spend some time doing past med questions from that as well. And then other than that, I don't want to be working too late into the evening, because I just think that would be a recipe for disaster if I'm cramming right up to the last minute. What is done is done. I either know it now or I don't, so that is the plan for the final day. The sun is shining. We've just got to power through. In 72 hours, is it 72? What's 3 days in hours?
72.
In 72 hours, I will be a free woman. So I've just got to find the energy for the last few days now. So, the last day. Today I just wanted to stay as calm as possible. That was my only goal. I tried to avoid all caffeine. I ordered this like herbal green chamomile tea thing in this cafe in Winchester, and it was served to me like this. Very fancy, I think you'll agree. I just spent the morning reading through my notes, making like bullet points on key points, but I tried not to sweat the small details and just remind myself of the key conditions and management from each placement. And that went quite well. I got bored of reading though, so I did a bit of QuesMed as well just to warm my brain up before meeting Jack for a quick lunch break. Jack wants you all to know that he's on his lunch break. I have done most of what I planned to do this morning. I'm really feeling a bit stressed now. I feel like revising this close to the exam is a dangerous game, but I'm going to do a bit more this afternoon and call it quits by the early evening, I think. But Jack's going to go do the food shop for me, and then we'll try and have a chilled out evening, and I will try my best to get some sleep for tomorrow. That is the plan. After a quick break, I got straight back into going over some week topics. Basically, I had a list and I was just working through that list of these topics. I didn't want to do too many really, so I ended up going home to relax at about 4. So my exam was in the afternoon because our year was split in half, as there wasn't enough computers for the whole cohort. We had to arrive for the afternoon exam by 11:30, so we could isolate, and this is so we didn't get a chance to talk to the first group. Good morning, it is the exam day. I have to leave in half an hour, so I'll make this quick, but the day has arrived. Today is make or break because I've done the work, but maybe it's not been enough. Maybe I should have been more consistent throughout the year. I have to just remind myself that everything I have done this year has been in the wake of a massive, massive loss. There was a lot of people telling me to take this year off, so I didn't do that and I stuck with the year because Dad said you got to keep going, and I know he wouldn't have been mad at me if I'd have taken a year out, but you know, I made my choice to carry on with the year. So if things don't go well, I'm not going to be hard on myself, but I'm also not going to go looking for sympathy because I did decide to do this while I was grieving, and I'm still grieving, and we'll find out today really and tomorrow if it was the right thing. I know I can do it. Obviously he's coming with me today on my little necklace that my friend Tara got me for Christmas. Yeah, put that around my neck. I got the bus around 9:30 because I wanted no chance of being late. Believe me, I have seen them turn people away for showing up even a minute late, so that wasn't going to be me. How are you feeling?
Scared, very scared.
Imagine if we got stuck in the lift. Before I knew it, I was nervously sat outside the exam room, waiting to go in, holding my breath, and I'm just nervous even like looking at this clip. And 2 hours later, it was all over. I went to Sophie's to see my fave fluffy friend Robin and debrief with her and Marriage. We did a silly thing of going through as many questions as we could remember and putting forward our cases for what we thought was the right answer. The problem with single best answer exam is that there's usually a few answers you could argue are correct, so it does become a case of who can convince you they got it the most right. After torturing ourselves, I went to work in a cafe with Sophie and Fred and treated myself to pancakes. I am not responsible for my food choices on an adrenaline crash. It was very difficult to know what to revise at this point, so I just went over important topics that didn't come up in the first half of the paper. And I decided at about 6 enough was enough, and I went home to relax and try and get another good night's sleep. Bye, see you tomorrow. This is it, the final day of exams. Feeling nervous again this morning. I think just because I know it's going to be hard, but I know I can do it, so it's just like upsetting me, or not upsetting me, but like it's just making me like more nervous, because if I mess this up it will be like even more disappointing because I just know I can do it. I did as best as I could yesterday, did make a few silly mistakes, so today is equally important. Both papers are like fully compensated for each other, so both papers are 90 marks, 180 total, and it's literally just both papers put together to get your marks. So yeah, it really is only halfway done. I think I'm going to read over ENT this morning because there was no ENT on yesterday's paper, but I do think it's a dangerous game trying to predict what's going to come up today, because stuff that came up yesterday I never would have predicted to come up. But in just a few short hours I will be done with 4th year, hopefully, at least for a few weeks. The trauma of failing and resitting second year's exam has never really left me, because I am never relaxed in an exam season now. Like, I never feel confident even if I feel like I've done well. Like, I still feel like I don't trust myself, and the imposter syndrome for that will never leave me, I don't think. Anyway, let's go. Here we are before the exam. This is us after the exam.
Not feeling great.
It's done now.
It's done now.
We're done now. We're free. And just like that, the exam was done. It was rough, I can't lie. I was hoping paper 2 would be easier, but it was definitely harder for me. So many questions, had 2 or 3 options that you could convince me were right. I flagged about 30 of the 90 questions and changed about 9 or 10 at the end. So let's just pray I changed them to the right answer and not to the wrong answer. After a post-exam debrief with Sophie, I was feeling slightly better. I think we were on the same page for a lot of the questions, and there wasn't really time to overthink it though, because we had to go and collect our final year logbooks, forms, and something else very exciting. Feeling official now. The question is, did we pass? Got a little final year medical student here. Following a really stressful morning, week, exam season and year, it was finally time to head to Stags for a celebratory pint. This turned into a few pints, followed by a few more pints in an Irish pub, and then that turned into karaoke, immaculate vibes, and the best way to celebrate, hopefully finishing 4th year. In final year, we will be all over the south on different placements, and lots of my year are leaving Southampton for the last time. They won't be having places to live here, myself included, so it was bittersweet but so much fun. I will of course be back in Southampton for different events and stuff, and of course final exams as well, but it did feel like the end of an era. I hope you guys enjoyed this exam video more than I enjoyed exam season. I'll see you very soon to find out if I did enough to pass. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
And we've done our exams and now we're celebrating. Cheers!
Cheers.